Hello everybody, welcome back to the Multi-Battle League Season 2. I'm that guy Harvey, and we are here for the weekly recap for Week 4. And as always, I'm joined by my Ludicolo brethren in Juan Marvel.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the MBL. All you fans out there, welcome back to another week of weekly recaps.
That's just perfect. That was everything we needed right there.
There we go. That's it.
That's perfect. We're done. That's the end of the video. Yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. We're gonna go home now. No, we're here to talk about all the games, all the big moments from every match, and we're gonna go straight into the first one: Team Dreamball versus Team Subs. Team Dreamball bringing Bronzong, Zapdos, Zygarde 50, Scrafty, Heatran, and Tapu Fini, their base core that they just love bringing to most matches. Yeah, so far, I notice. I know it does. They can see on the screen now it does. And Team Subs bringing Seismitoad, Clefable, Mega Lucario, Mew, Raikou, and Hitmontop. Annoyingly, on my side, I've once again managed to mess up. Let's just...
It's okay. Okay.
I'll go over that.
It would not be a weekly recap.
It wouldn't be
a messed up slide.
Oh, it would. Yeah, of course it wouldn't.
But we're gonna get right into this. Definitely Team Dreamball played the game to their song. They 100% controlled the game. It felt very dodgy at times, but definitely you could see the control and the prep that they brought this week against Team Subs.
Absolutely. I immediately noticed that they were playing exactly how they wanted to. They did everything they wanted to perfectly. What more could really say? You can see on the screen there Zygarde picking up 3 more KOs this week, thanks to more 1,000 arrows. I think 1,000 arrows is probably going to pick up the most KOs in this season by itself.
It's a spread move. It's a spread move that does not affect your partner. It is 90. It is 90 base power, and it hurts from any Zygarde form. And I do, again, before we keep on going to detail in this, just right off the bat, a shout out to a Guave Berry Flink into the weakness policy Bronzong. Shout that out. I was going to get to that. I'm very happy about watching that. I watched that and thought, this is the play of the week by far. It has to be, surely. Unfortunately, again, that they received the literal next move of a Z Thunder from the Raikou. That honestly, if they didn't do the Iguaf play, the Bronzong would have died. So at least it lived a little bit to do massive damage. But we're going to start from the top and work our way down.
I was saying, it did more than massive damage. It ended up knocking out the Hitmontop the next turn.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, the problem I have with Team Subs' team is that they brought a lot of defensive mons this week.
Yes,
they brought max HP, max special defense Seismitoad, max HP with split defense and special defense Clefable, max HP, max special defense Mew, max HP 84 defense, 172 special defense Hitmontop. They didn't have any attack. Except for Lucario and Raikou, and both of those died to 1,000 arrows from Zygarde. Yeah,
the thing is that it was too little too late from Team Subs, because they, instead of leading off with either Raikou or Mega Lucario, they just let their bulky mon sit there for the longest of times. Even though, yes, it gave them a lot of switches and gave them some momentum, it just didn't do the damage that Team Dreamball just took opportunity from that and set up, and they wrecked house, they wrecked face, 100%.
Absolutely, they did. I think it's not even them just sitting there. It's more all the switches just keep giving Dreamball the chip damage they need to be able to whittle down their mons, especially the Mew, where they had Z transform again on this Mew, hoping to transform into Tapu Fini, I think, on that turn. But it just had taken too much damage beforehand from flash cannons and Moon Blasts. It was just knocked out by Tapu Fini, so they couldn't utilize that.
Mew was the first thing that went down, so that they already were down one Z move once Mew went down, which Team Dreamball was definitely worried about for the Genesis Supernova. But like you said, they brought Z Transform.
Z Transform this week.
Honestly, in this case, Z Psychic with Genesis Supernova would have been beneficial to, no doubt, because it would have countered the Tapu Fini's Misty Terrain. It would have caused a lot of pressure on things like on Zygarde 50%, Zapdos, and such like that. So again, it came down to the prep this week, 100%.
It really did. I don't really know what else to say about this matchup because
No,
it was just a case of hyper offense I say hyper offense, but well played offense from Team Dreamball against just plain against just plain bulk from Team Subs, which did not work in their favor.
Yeah, I'm comfortable to move on if you are.
I am most certainly comfortable to move on because this was, as you can see, a 5-0 win to Team Dreamball, and that is the third 5-0 win in a row for them. So they are the hottest team right now. Power rankings, I expect them to be very, very, very high this week. If not number one, I expect them to be number one this week.
They responded very well after their week 1. They have not let up at any point at all. They have not let up, and it looks like they're just going to keep on rolling. So I'm very happy about that.
Excited to see what they do for next week's match. I forget who they're against. I will have to have a look at some point. But we'll move on straight to our next match: Team Mythical versus Team Drinking Birds. Team Mythical bringing Magnezone, Mega Medicham, Nidoking, Garchomp, Cresselia, and Guzzlord, with Team Drinking Birds bringing Pheromosa, Blastoise, Darmanitan, Landorus T, Metagross, and Ninetales.
Oh boy.
Not like you would have known that they brought Metagross because it didn't show up.
It didn't show up, and it literally came down to turn 2.
I'd say both turn 1 and turn 2.
Turn 1. It was the good prediction on Team Mythical's part.
Oh, absolutely.
Turn 2, they just left Pheromosa free reign.
Yes, they did, and they were punished duly for that by getting Mega Medicham Z-moved in the face.
Very hard
savage spin out by Pheromosa, just destroying Medicham, and from that point on, it was a bit of a slaughter, really.
There's no other words to describe it. The only thing that I would have to say on Team Mythical's part: be aware in terms of Ultra Beasts. Be aware what beast boost they get. Because they were very surprised when they saw the Ice Beam afterwards on the Pheromosa, but then they realized after the second Beast Boost, oh shoot, this was boosting special attack. Again, just situational thing. Just be careful and know what mons get which moves in terms of coverage and such.
Yeah, I was quite surprised that they're setting Garchomp first, considering that there was both Blastoise and Pheromosa, both of them common weak Ice Beam users.
Yeah,
extremely common Ice Beam users.
Yeah,
I think it's rare not to see a Pheromosa with Ice Beam on it.
Yeah. But I do again give props to the offensive pressure Team Drinking Birds put out on the gate. Scarf Blastoise, beautiful.
Oh yes,
beautiful water spouting everywhere, and it wasn't touched until it wasn't touched at all. It wasn't touched at all, actually.
No, it was not.
Stayed at full health and was abusing with that Scarf water spout, which dealt massive damage. I believe to the amount it did, 50% off. It brought it down to below half for sure.
It did much more than 50%. It did so much damage.
At least 50%. Again, it's a little bit foggy for me, but
it's alright. It's alright. It did a lot.
It dealt massive damage. It dealt massive damage to the Magnezone, which then could not deal with Blastoise efficiently. So, yeah.
They capitalized very well on Mythical not targeting Pheromosa early. It was allowed to sit there. It knocked out the entirety of one side within 4 turns.
Yep, and from there on, it was just game at that point, because what they had left was Nidoking and Cresselia.
I can't remember the other item that they were planning to run on Blastoise. They were planning on running something else. I can't remember what it was, but it was the last minute they changed their mind to Scarf Water Spout or Scarf whatever move they had on it, or whatever they wanted to do.
Glad they did. They were able to keep on that pressure with Water Spout, with that spread move. Yeah,
they really switched up their monsters this time, because they even mentioned in the team builder they always ran Assault Vest Lando T. They always ran Scarf Darmanitan as well. That they wanted to change up everything they had. They ran a lot of interesting sets that didn't get any time to shine, which I'm sad about. It
didn't get time to shine, but it worked so well for them that it would have been just extra. It would have been just icing on top, cherry on top, cake and such.
It would have been. Some of the stuff they were running was fantastic. Iron Ball, Hypnosis, Ninetales, for example.
That's deadly.
I also had Raw. Gradium Z Metagross, just hit most things, actually. Metagross dealt big damage to a lot. They nearly brought Oricorio. I was hoping they brought it. I wanted to see it so badly. I wanted to see it, please, if you get to watching this, bring Oricorio next week. Or something.
Oricorio will have its day, and
please.
it will be like the Chatot effect.
You know what? This is a call to all the coaches right now. Bring your underused mons. We have like 15 or so mons. I can actually check the MVP table right now to see how many mons we have that haven't been used. But please bring them. We want to see what you can do with them. Rabombi still hasn't been used just yet. Bruxish came to one match but didn't show up. I want to see Bruxish used. I'm calling you out, Cyberbaz. I want to see that happen. Oricorio hasn't been used. Comfey hasn't been used. There's so many things that
hasn't been used.
Yeah, Comfey hasn't gone. I want to see Comfey come to a match. But back to this match in particular. It was eventually wrapped up with Ninetales KOing, I believe. Oh, what was it? What was it that was last? It was Cresselia, I think.
Cresselia was the last mon because it was King just died.
Yeah, Nidoking just went to Blastoise. Blastoise picking up 2 KOs this week. Pheromosa picking up 3. Ninetales getting 1 on its, I think it's only his second match. And the unfortunate casualty in Landorus T just having to be sacked off.
Landorus T and Pheromosa.
Yeah, Pheromosa had to die eventually. They couldn't let it get all of them, right?
True.
Right?
Share the wealth.
Not like a match later on in the program. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
So let's move straight on to our third match of the day. Team Juice against Team Blue Hunnets.
Oh boy, this was a great match. Honestly, this
was a brilliant match to watch. Team Juice bringing Aegislash, Kieran Black, Tornadus T, Volcanion, Aromatisse, and Crocodile. Team Blue Hunnets bringing Electivire, Tapu Lele, Rotom Heat, Kyurem, Togetic, and Deoxys. And immediately I want to call out GE and the Beatdown, who said in their team builder video that if Aromatisse was brought, they would do a backflip, each of them.
I guess we're waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting now. They brought Aromatisse. The ball is in your court, is what we're trying to say here. But I want to praise Blue Hunnets for playing extremely well this week. They played fantastic.
Their level of play was on top of the game this week. The Follow Me Electivire with the Tapu Lele caused so much pressure for Team Juice. So much pressure.
Their big master plan was Tapu Lele just to calm mind up, and just start sweeping through their team. That was their big plan, because they had Electivire and Togetic on one side, both of them with Follow Me, just to keep diverting the pressure away from Tapu Lele. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that work out. However, that opened the opportunity for Rotom Heat.
Rotom Heat with the secret MVP.
Rotom Heat was the MVP. Secondary MVP going to GE for calling the doubles into Rotom Heat both times. Both times he called it. And they protected correctly both times.
No, again, they upped their game this week. They upped their game so much, and it worked out wonderfully for them.
They did play absolutely fantastically. And they played really well around the possibility of Skydrop. They were scared of Skydrop from Tornadus T. They played exceptionally around the Tailwind that was up. Like, they knew that, oh, okay, things are going to outspeed us here. We need to play a bit more carefully. They were fantastic about that.
But again, you have to give credit where credit is due with Team Juice, because again, turn 1 they had the Tornadus Theron with the Misty Seed, which is very good.
Psychic Seed.
Sorry, not the Misty Seed.
Yeah, Psychic Seed.
My apology. But yeah, no, it was again well prepped on their parts. They were. I was convinced that they had this game from, I believe, around turn 10. I saw that pressure that Team Juice had on Team Blue Hunters, but Blue Hunters came back with that. It turned around in terms of the fact that Kyurem caused a lot of pressure when they didn't discover that they didn't have an item, so they assumed it was the move, which probably it was.
It was Dragonium C.
Okay, and from there they just did so many mind games. Again, great pressure with the Tailwind from Tornadus Therian, but once Tornadus Therian went down, everything on their roster besides the Kyurem Black just was undersped once the Tailwind went down.
Yep, and Blue Hunters knew that. Like they said, as soon as the Tailwind goes down, we outspeed Tapu Lele will outspeed everything. Deoxys will outspeed everything. Kyurem will outspeed everything. So they knew that as soon as that Tailwind went down, they could capitalize on it, and they did with gusto. Again, very good. I have to credit good prep on Team Juice's part, especially on the Crocodile for
the Crocodile set was amazing.
Berry reducing berry.
Roselli.
The Roselli berry, causing a bit of confusion on G's part. He's like, oh wait, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good. I was like, one particular play I want to highlight that I'm really confused about. Why did they Earth Power into a Rotom slot?
They Earth powered into a Rotom because Terrorbolt.
I forget.
Terrorbolt negates moves that become immune to other things. So Levitate would be cancelled out.
I actually didn't know what Terrorbolt did.
Yeah, Terrorbolt is like a mold breaker.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that.
Yep. No, that it makes 100% sense, but unfortunately, Team Blue Hunters read that.
The more you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Team Blue Hunters read
that.
They right into
they read that beautifully. Togetic came in,
my
negating
only
that.
concern as well, I'm not sure in terms of things in the long run, but Aromatisse was level 99 instead of 100. Again, just a little bit of a...
I want to know what set was run on the Aromatisse, because we had a bit of a debate between a couple of us analysts on whether Team Juice could have pulled out the victory from this. Because we had Rotom on like...
potential.
We had Rotom on 18 health, with Deoxys on 1, and Kyurem in the back against Aromatisse.
The thing is, though, I'm pretty sure Aromatisse was not as defensive as they wanted, so it could live one hit in terms of either Deoxys Rotom Heat combo after the Trick Room, which they did do, but they knew afterwards it was just too many Mons left. They would have died before it would have maybe brought down to a 1-0 at most, but they knew they were losing at that point.
I just wanted to know what set the Aromatisse was. That's the big thing. So I want to kind of figure out if there was a chance they could have still pulled it out, because they still had 2 turns of Trick Room left. Deoxys on 1 HP. It did have Protect. It might have protected that turn. I'm not entirely sure. They could have double protected just to stall out the Trick Room, which would have been their better play. Because did they have Dazzling Gleam? Did they have Drainy Kiss, Moonblast?
Give me 1 second.
Anything of the sort. We need
I'm
to know for science.
They definitely had stab in terms of the fact. Let me just give me 1 second. I'm going to double check this right now.
People were saying if they had Dazzling Gleam, I need to stop with the stalling. This is a terrible thing I'm doing. Mid video ranting. Who doesn't love it?
Okay, this is going to be cut off, correct? In terms of condensing things, post-editing.
I don't know. Let's just roll with it.
Okay. So in that case, then Aromatisse did have After You, Trick Room, Heal Pulse, and Protect. No stab move whatsoever on it.
Oh yeah, they 100% lost then.
Yep. No, they
had no attacking.
They had no offensive moves actually.
Yep.
Well.
And that is the game. Tailwind, I'm calling you out. They couldn't win. I win the argument here. I'm calling him out. But once again, very, very good play from Team Blue Hunters this week. Pulling out some would say surprise, 3-0 win in this match. I think most of us predicted wrong in this match.
Probably.
I think only 2 people predicted correctly. Shout outs to Kabutero, who locked Blue Hunters.
Oh my lord.
I know.
Kabutero
the Lord, pulling that out. Shall we move on to...
I think we talked careful about this match. We're going to go into now Team Flawless versus Team We Disney. Take it away.
Thank you very much. We have for Team Flawless, Galvantula, Infernape, Mamoswine, Togekiss, Magina, and Hooper Unbound. For Team We Disney, we have Horlucha, Landorus Incarnate, Magmortar, Gyarados, Tornadus Incarnate, and Tapu Koko. Not like you would have known that Tornadus and Tapu Koko were there, because they didn't show up.
Nope.
They did
not show up.
Yes. We do have a little bit of clarification to have about this match. Some of you might have seen it if you're in the Discord, that there was some of you might have heard it also in Duncan's and maybe Barrel's video. I don't know if they mentioned it. I didn't watch their side, of course, but there was a unfortunate circumstance where Team We Disney's team was leaked to Team Flawless by a complete accident in some manner. I don't exactly know the circumstances about it, but in good spirit they showed Team We Disney their team in return, and they had to build that morning for the battle. The day they recorded, they built that morning. And I think that's really swung the favour in Team We Disney. And we did have to make a decision afterwards about like any kind of way to make this a bit fairer on Team Flawless, the unfortunate circumstance around it, because they did have some good sets according to Duncan, who did, after going back and looking at it. So we did have to make the decision to still award Team We Disney the 5-0 win. They earn it, they get the result. But Team Flawless, it goes down as a 0-0 loss. It keeps the differential, but they still have to take the L. That's the nature of the league. So now that's been cleared up, now that everybody who's going to watch this knows about this, we can go straight into the match. And turn one. Fantastic turn one from Team We Disney.
It was completely a bird turn in terms of Team Flawless side, but because of the quick guard protect, that was well played completely by Team We Disney. Can't argue about that.
They 100% called the fake out coming in, and they're protecting their focus sash on Horlucha. Really helped them out later on in the match. And they were very, very aggressive. They constantly applied pressure to Team Flawless. They just would not let up on them at all.
No, absolutely not.
That Horlucha stayed there for several turns. I don't know when it finally went down.
It went down, I'm going to tell you right now, it went down around turn 1, 2, 3, 4? Around turn 4. It stayed for a significantly long time, causing a lot of havoc with the Skydrop shenanigans.
Yes. Skydrop was, I think, the kind of play they needed. It stopped Galvantula from potentially setting anything up. It stopped Galvantula really from having its day. It just nullified any potential threat. Like, We Disney were really, really scared of Trick Room. They were super scared of Trick Room, because if they even mentioned if they got a Trick Room up, Mammoth One would just knock out their entire team.
Yeah, it would.
It would have just what, Ice Beam or Freeze Dry. Yep, that's half the team gone.
Yep, 100% agree with that. But unfortunately, they did not bring Trick Room, and Team We Disney once they applied the pressure, they did not let up at all.
It's quite surprising that they didn't bring Trick Room at all. I would have thought that 1-1 would have had it. That's really a surprise to hear that they didn't.
I'm here.
Good. I'll cut that out.
Yeah, I'm just fact checking right now.
All right, good. I was scared. I was scared for you.
Nope, not the only one they had Trick Room on was Magirna, actually. Looking over their team builder right now, and Magirna just went down. Not even a chance to do anything. By that point, it was just too late.
For them. Landorus had a fantastic match, taking out Togekiss really, really easily, essentially. Earth Power just destroying Infernape. Was it I'm assuming it was Life Orb, maybe? Is it Life Orb or Sash? It wasn't Sash, it went down in one hit. Was it Life Orb?
Infernape was Life Orb, yes.
It was Life Orb. I thought as much. I thought, oh, that's just gone down in one hit. That must be Life Orb. That's the other normal set it kind of runs. But, like I said, Infernape just went straight down. Togekiss went straight down. Hooper went straight down to U-turn after trying in vain.
They literally couldn't do anything with Hooper.
At that point, it was over. And the U-turn allowed Gyarados to get its day in the sun as well. Don't hog all the kills. Give someone else a turn.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to win, though. That's the only thing.
Yes. Absolutely. Magmortar came in and again started causing havoc. Gyarados just set up the Dragon Dance, and as soon as it did, it was completely over.
No, 100%.
Everything just went down with Waterfall.
There's not much to say afterwards, especially since it was the Magirna that took that Hydro Vortex, and it just wrecked. It just gave enough pressure enough chip damage onto the Magirna for Magmortar to clean take it out. No, I'm sorry. God, I am reading things wrong. Yeah, no, it.
It's all right. It's all right.
Lord, what is going on with me today?
It's all right. People like this kind of stuff. It gives them something to talk about in the comments.
No, definitely. But it was Magirna just took too much damage. With the combination.
It was a hyper offense
coming in. Yeah, there was nothing Team Flawless can do, even under the circumstances.
Again, the circumstances were very, very unfortunate surrounding it, but sometimes it's just the game we play. Team Flawless going down 5-0 to Team We Disney. We Disney now 4-0. They are the only unbeaten team left in this league, as you will see in a couple matches' time.
Yeah.
They are. Yep. We will now move on to our 5th match of the week. Cyberbaz versus Team Leaky. Team Cyberbaz bringing Azumarill, Purloin, which I love that they brought Purloin. Top marks. Top marks, Cyberbaz. I called you out earlier, but this is your redemption this week. Jirachi, Breloom, Volcarona, and Mega Aerodactyl. And Team Leaky bringing Necrozma, Amberpom, Electabuzz, Abomasnow, Rhyperior, and Mega Gyarados, which never actually megaed.
Yeah, I was actually curious about that.
Oh, it went to sleep straight away.
No, it was put to sleep. I'm pretty sure you can still mega while you sleep.
I actually don't know, but they had it more just for the Intimidate at the start. Okay. I don't know if they were planning on megaing at some point, but it was mainly just to get Intimidate off if they were to switch it in constantly. Mm-hmm. But the main point I want to go over this, swapping the Azumarill potential sweep turn 1. They really put the damage in on it. Even though it was just a fake out, but that fake out did a good 20 to 25%.
Yeah, it's an Ampipom. You respect the damage Ampipom
I know.
Out when it has priority normal.
You respect the technician fake out.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Then we saw how it could be neutered in Charm Purloin.
Yeah, that was amazing to see. Charm Purloin, Encore Purloin. What else did it have on it?
It had
Foul Play,
which is a slightly weird combination. Charm and Foul Play.
I mean, the Foul Play was there again for the more for things like the Necrozma that they didn't want to necessarily charm, but they wanted to take advantage of its high, if it was physical at that point, its super effective weakness to Dark type. Because it's a difference between the two attacks. That's why.
That is understandable. However, they did still try and charm it the turn before. They tried. Still, they tried.
My points are valid.
I do appreciate the quick guard from Amberpom though. Of the turn after, the charm did allow Jirachi to take minimal damage from the Z Giga Impact.
That is true, but unfortunate the turn after, as they go for Z Happy Hour, the Dark Pulse just chipped it way too much to be safe to abuse that
yes,
Z Happy Hour.
Yes, it did. Life Orb, Dark Pulse. It wasn't a completely bulky set this week. It did have quite a bit of speed investment, which is weird considering they were Trick Room, but I should have really watched the entire thing. I didn't. I'm bad at this, all right? don't hate me, people. It had 72 special attack investment. But eventually, they just kept whittling them down. Jirachi got whittled down. Azumarill was whittled down very early on. I did think the momentum really start to shift when they brought in Volcarona.
It did shift that they brought in Volcarona because it was allowed to sit there at Quiver Dance with a Quiver Dance spell. My only, I would say, complaint about this week, 3 Mons had setup on it, on Cyberbaz's side. I know it's good to have backup plans, but in terms of that much setup, you're allowing yourself to just to be let advantage on giving the momentum at some points to your opponent.
Yeah, that's a lot of backup. That's what we
did see definitely in the beginning, but towards the end, definitely Volcarona did so much damage to the opposing team.
Absolutely,
just chipping it down little by little.
Chipping it down, it absolutely destroyed Abomasnow. It essentially one-shot Electabuzz and it beat Necrozma. That's not chip. That was annihilation. That is.
Points are still valid.
You can't even say that. It was annihilation.
Points are still valid.
No,
but unfortunately,
it is not.
The Necrozma was like what was revealed. It was speedy enough to outspeed Breloom, which was unfortunate because a sleeping Necrozma or sleeping anything would have changed the game to Cyberbass's favor.
I do think that Cyberbass could have won the match, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Shout outs again to Team Leaky for the safety goggles on Electabuzz.
Yes.
That was brilliant. They predicted it perfectly. They said that Breloom is going to have Spore on it. We're running safety goggles. They won't expect it at all.
Yes, and bad on Cyberbass for not picking up the fact that Electabuzz was goggled for the fact that he did not take any chip damage with the hail. So
Yes,
just a little things to notice.
Yeah, that is a very important point to note.
And just also saying the reason why they could have won was because there was a timeout.
Oh, really? I did not know
the turn that they went for the offensive move with Rhyperior and the Ambipom on the field, they were supposed to click Protect.
Yes.
They were supposed to click Protect to preserve the Volcarona as the second Mon on the Mega Arrow went down, so that they would have had at least chip for the Heat Wave.
Yes.
For them to deal enough damage on Ambipom and.
I was going to say they did have a wink. I didn't know they were going for Protect. Was it on the Volcarona they were protecting?
Yeah, Volcarona they were protecting, but Aaron timed out.
Oh, that's actually sad to know. That's actually it's sad knowing that, because they could have won by sky dropping Necrozma. This is the point that I wanted to pick up on. They could have won by sky dropping Necrozma, potentially.
But the game is the game.
I know it is.
The game we play is a dirty little girl.
Look, I feel smart for outlining this. All right, let me have this. No, seriously. If they had sky drop Necrozma in that turn and hit into the Ambipom slot, best case scenario, Ambipom goes down and they're left with a Necrozma that will come down the very next turn and a Rhyperior against 3 months. They'd still have Jirachi, they'd have Volcarona, and they'd have Mega Aerodactyl still on the field. Worst case scenario, it would be a bit of a knife edge. Ambipom living the Bug Buzz, knocking out the Volcarona, and leaving Jirachi and Mega Aerodactyl against Necrozma and Ambipom. However, the Ambipom would have probably been knocked out the next turn, and depending on if Leaky had Trick Roomed or not, that would have decided the match. But we can only speculate.
Yeah,
we can only speculate.
Assumption from this point.
Yes, it was a very back and forth match, as we previously said. Team Leaky picking up the 1-0 win. And again, it was probably another kind of upset, really, because Cyberbaz are a very good team. They're a very good team, and it did go back and forth. But Team Leaky eventually coming off as the victors, being in the winning situation of having Rhyperior and Ambipom just against the lone Jirachi. Wait, it could take out one. It couldn't do both.
Yeah,
it was
very unfortunate.
It could take one of them. It couldn't have taken both, which is extremely unfortunate for them. As we move on to our final match of the week, and as I previously mentioned, there is a Mon who kind of just hogged the spotlight this week.
Pushing it down, my man.
Yep. As we run down the list, we have Buzzwole, Suicune, Mega Garchomp, Cradily, Arcanine, and Celesteela for Team Not Scald, and Team Jamie with Porygon Z, Mr. Mime, Mega Blastoise, Superior, Victini, and Rotom Fan.
5-0 to Team Jamie this week.
Yep, 5-0 to Team Jamie.
I love to see Team Jamie play, but they
were gorgeous, fantastic. It just started from turn 1. However, the real MVP of this week isn't Porygon Z, it's Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is the MVP of this week, by far. It has to be.
That's our secret MVP. This is our secret MVP because for the fact that it lived a tectonic crash from a Buzzwole at I don't know how much HP, like 10%. It
was between 15 and 20%, which propped their Aguav Berry, allowed them to get back up and live even further hits from the Suicune, I believe, which kept scalding it. It was a brilliant game plan. They had their plan, and they just executed it to perfection. Z conversion on turn 1, giving them electric, and a +1 adaptability boosted electric type is a very scary thing if you're a Buzzwole, a Suicune, an Arcanine, or a Celesteela. Or all of them.
Very much so. All of them, many of them, basically the entire team. But I felt Team Skull Not Skull was just too confident this week with themselves. They forgot a lot of things, like for example, the wide guard on Mr. Mime. That was one thing that they completely forgot that Mr. Mime got. And
that was brilliant.
Again, that turn one as well. It was weird to see Team Matt Skull perform like this week. That's
I'd say it's kind of humbling in a way.
I would agree with you. That's a bit humbling for the fact that you still have to play the game and play it like it's the last game.
Yeah, exactly. Play every game to win. And they've won 3 on the bounce, all 1-0 wins, and just to come in against Team Jamie and have Paragon Z set up on them and say, "Hello there, I'm a Paragon. How are you going to beat me?" It just sat there. It sat there and just knocked everything out, turn after turn. Boswell went down first. Garchomp came in and got ice beamed straight back to where it came from. Arcanine eventually went down 2 turns later, I think, to Thunderbolt. Suicune eventually went down to another Thunderbolt after... I think it was a Thunderbolt? Yes, it was Thunderbolt.
It was definitely a Thunderbolt.
Yes, after Superior came in and weakened it.
They definitely did their job in focusing one side and the other. Because everything that was offensively threatening was on Envy's side, and everything that was bulky was on Joey's side this week.
Yes, they
identified.
I can't remember which Jamie it was that identified it. I think all of them immediately realized, wait a minute, they've got all their bulky stuff on one side, they got all their offensive stuff on the other side. If we just rush down one side, we're going to win this match. And that's exactly what they did. They identified the threats very, very early on.
Mm-hmm.
Even as far back as their team builder. They decided in their team builder they couldn't bring their sand. Because did Team Not School over-prepare for sand, by any chance?
As far as I am aware in terms of the information that I know, they just went in with a game plan of there's a potential Tyranitar there. If it comes, cool, that's fine. Megazord can do things, but if it doesn't, we can still work with what we have.
That's not the attitude you want to have, especially when you have a Porygon Z on the opposing team. Oh, fun. Miller, you're redeemed for the joke I made about your joke 2 weeks ago.
It's okay.
You're redeemed. I only just got the joke. I don't even know how. I'm bad at this. But what else can we really say about this match? Rotom didn't show up. Victini didn't show up. Blastoise didn't show up. It was just the three
leaders.
The 3 leading lights: Porygon Z, Mr. Mime, and Superior as a support act, getting a kill on its debut. What more could you want?
I'm happy. I'm just happy with this game. Like I said, I support Team Jamie a lot, and I know they have potential, and they just brought it this week. They brought it so well this week. Mine was amazing. They
had their game plan, and they executed it to perfection.
And it also shows they don't need sand. They don't need sand to make a successful team.
They knew they didn't have to bring sand. They brought the Escadrille and Tyranitar as their dummies, just to try and bait out a couple of mons from Team Not Scored. They were worried about Comfey this week. They did worry that Comfey would be a bit of a problem. So again, I'm going to call out Not Scored for this. Bring Comfey. You would make a lot of people happy when you do.
Comfey is again
do it.
+3 priority with any healing move is kind of scary in this format.
That includes Leech Seed. That includes Draining Kiss. Partner that with a big root, and you can have something that sits there forever.
Yes, very much.
It just won't go. If they could pull that off one week, I will commend them to the moon and back. But that is enough of this match. Team Not Scored with a 5-0 defeat to Team Jamie. Yep, I nearly messed that up. I pulled that back out of the break. As we move into...
You got this.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're going to move straight into the standings for this week, and it's still a sad sight to see Team Mythical at the bottom of the table. 0-4, -16 differential. Team Subs moved down 1 place to 11th after their defeat this week to Team Dreamball. Blue Hunnets with their victory move up to 10th on differential. Team Juice also fall 1 place, leapfrogged by Team Leaky, who move up to 8th. Team Flawless drop out of the top half of the table for the first time this season, down to 7th. As we move into the top 6, Team Cyberbaz fall another 2 places this week after their defeat to Team Leaky. Jamie moved into the top half of the table for the first time, up to 5th place. Not Scored after their defeat dropped straight from 2nd down to 4th. Drinking Birds are up 3 places this week to 3rd. Dreamball are into the top 2, deservedly so I would say, after another 5-0 win. Up into 2nd place at plus 14, and Team We Disney hold the crown at the moment, number 1 overall, 4-0, plus 15 difference. They are the team to beat right now.
Can't wait to find out who it is. Can't wait to find out who will take that crown away.
Speaking of crowns, the Week 4 crown for MVP, the current leader in the MVP race, is Porygon Z, to nobody's surprise. 10 kills in 4 weeks is madness.
Yep. 10
kills overall, only 2 deaths. Zygarde moves up into 2nd place with 8 kills and only the 1 death. Gyarados moves up into 3rd place for Team We Disney with 7 KOs and 2 deaths to his name. And we have a look at the rest of the top 10. Tapu Fini drops down to 4th. Boswell and McGinn are out of the top 3 for the first time. They dropped to 5th and 6th. Pheromosa moves back into the top 10 this week at 7th. Rotom Heat makes its debut in the top 10 at 8th. Quite literally bringing all the fire. Volcarona moves into 9th place with its 3 KOs this week. And Landorus Incarnate will move up into 10th place after its 3 this week. And it has yet to be knocked out. It's the only mon on this entire top 10 that is yet to be knocked out.
Consistently in the top 10, you mean, correct?
Not consistently. This is the only mon in this week's. This is the only one in this week's top 10 to not be knocked out at all.
Very nice. Very nice. And it's amazing, honestly. The Landorus is just 10th.
Yeah, it's just 10th. There's still more to see from Landorus. It's shown up to every game, I think, but in 2 of the games, I don't think it's even appeared. Or I think in one of the games it didn't even appear, which is really surprising, if I do say.
It just shows the talent. This just shows the talent of the team.
There are a lot of ones outside the top 10. Only just Jirachi's just outside on 4. Tornadus Incarnate's on 4. Metagross is on 4. Tyranitar is still outside on 4 with its 2 direct and 2 passive knockouts. We want to see T-Tar move up. It would be great.
Amen to that.
Bronzone's on 4, Blastoise is on 4, Landorus T, Kieran Black, Tornadus T, Arcanine, Mamoswine. There are a lot of things just outside that top 10 that could leapfrog anything at any moment. And I think that's
pretty cool to see, to be honest.
It is. It's good. Again, this is still quite a volatile list. We've seen a lot of changes already in the opening 4 weeks. We hope to see plenty more. And who can knock Porygon off that top spot? We'll have to wait and see. So that is about it for this week. That is it for week 4. Again, we're in the middle of our week off at the moment, so we won't be back for 2 weeks. Juan, you will be back next week. Actually,
I will definitely back for the mid-season recap.
Yes.
So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'll be joined by Ben and Calbutero.
Yes. Please be sure to join those 3. That video goes up next Tuesday, so be sure to tune into that. We have analyst content going up all week. If you haven't seen the break video we put up Monday. Yes, that we did on Monday. Please be sure to check that out to know all the content that's coming up for the next week during this little week off for the coaches and the analysts, just to have a little bit of break, a little bit of relaxation. Have a bit of time off and get everyone to catch up. But as always, from us at the weekly recap for the Multi Battle League Season 2, I'm that guy Harvey.
And I am the Juancito Marbell.
And we will see you very, very soon for the Multi Battle League
Have a good day.
to continue. Goodbye.
Bye.